feel that they have that. You've really got to believe in yourself. So I just went out on a limb. I stayed current with conferences and, literacy magazines, papers, organizations. You've got to know what's going on in the world so that when you see an opportunity, you seize it, you apply for it, you let it go and hope it happens. And if it does, you get on the plane, you invest the money you need to, and you go. So I've had the great fortune to be accepted in Norway. I spoke at the European Reading Conference last May. I spoke at the University of Crete, where I was able to inspire and energize 500 Greek future teachers, which was incredibly rewarding. I've volunteered in the country of Belize in the poorest district, Punta Gorda, where these children have very few books, old desks that we in Great Britain have sent them, and where the principals were just dying for information on how to help their kids read and write. And Canada. I've done a lot of training in Canada where there's such lifelong learners and their teachers are dying to learn what many of us have learned in our universities. So you just have to extend. You have to believe that you can go global, and then you've got to put forth the investment, the time, the energy, and the money, as you know from your work, to go and do it.
Well, so in other words, are you paying for your own trips? And if you're paying for your own
Yes.
trips, then how has that paid off for you in the long run?
Well, it's not about money in terms of, as long as I have enough to keep reinvesting. You have to put in order to get back. And I'm a firm believer that if you invest in something you believe in and you have worked hard to learn your craft, your skill, your business, then it's worth putting that in. I've been in business since 1998, so it's obviously working.
Well, that's great. We know, but I think people need to understand that there is an investment in something like this, and it leads to other things. So, what would what advice would you give for women, to women who want to take their expertise on the road so they can reach more people?
Yeah, well, you're to your point about marketing, such wonderful information that you have on marketing. Just from what I know about you, you have to network. You have to expose yourself and network at various organizations where you can meet people, share your expertise. All of a sudden, the universe, as the book The Secret tells us, the universe conspires to make it happen. Someone knows someone else who knows the superintendent, or someone else knows someone that can help you open a door to this conference or to be somewhere. It's networking. It's even when you don't have the money, you borrow it if you believe in the cause, and you just keep going. You do have to be careful, though, that you don't overextend on yourself, because if you don't have your health, you're not going to be good no matter how great your message or how great the business is. And that's where I do see a lot of people burning out. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And you've got to pace yourself with that as well as financially. You can't just keep sinking it all into the business. You've got to put it into self-care, into your family, into doctors, seeing your doctors regularly, and into self-investment, where I've been to invested in a lot of various wonderful programs that have helped me to learn about myself and how I can best be of value to the world, to my family, to myself. So it's an overall investment as well as networking and exposure. And I'm pretty much an introvert. It's been very hard for me. I would rather stay home with a good book and write, or be on my blog, or kind of curl up and just keep learning. And it's been very hard for me to get out on those stages and to go to meetings and promote myself. So
Well, let's find out how people can get a hold of you. Let's do that first before we run out of time here, because we've only got a few minutes left. So how can our listeners either bring you to their school districts or an organization to speak on literacy? How can they reach you, and what is your website?
Thank you. I appreciate that. They can reach me at ConnieHebert.com. That's Hebert.
And that's an E on the end, and that's CONNIE. An E on the end of Connie.
Right, ConnieHebert.com. And also, they can feel free to send me an email. I answer all emails at Dr. That's Dr. ConnieHebert@gmail.com.
Fantastic. Well, now you mentioned the books, and I want to ask you, after publishing 4 books, what did you learn about the publishing business?
Well, in a nutshell, because we are running out of time very quickly, I learned that you have to be willing to market your own book. People think that publishers are going to market them. They do not. Unless you're Bill or Hillary Clinton and you're very well known, the publisher is not going to market you. My very first edition of Catch a Falling Reader, I self-published, and that was the best thing I did, because I showed the publishers that I could, in fact, market and sell my own book. And I was approached by a very well-known publisher who heard me speak at a major national conference, and they offered me the opportunity to do a second edition. So before you invest $10,000 or $5,000 or whatever these publishers want, consider self-publishing and see how it goes. See if people are interested. See if you're selling. And now with Amazon, you can do it practically for free on eCreate. And create your own ebook and see if the millennial generation is interested in your message. It's got to be about what people want, not necessarily what you think people need.
That's so true.
And that I learned.
True. Well, and I think that's important for people to know that, yes, absolutely. And even when you are published by a major publisher, you still have to do your own marketing, and you really only get $1 a book. People think you get this huge advance. You don't. You really end up getting about $1 a book. So these are all things that you need to consider. Well, it has been a delight, Connie. Aww. And I have to tell you that hopefully there are people listening who are teachers, who represent school districts, who feel someone like you is very valuable to bring in to their community. And so if you're trying to get a hold of Connie, remember her email is dr.Connie, C-O-N-N-I-E, Hebert, H-E-B-E-R-T, @gmail.com. Her website is www.conniehebert.com. And I want to thank you so much for being with us today, Connie. And hopefully our kids are going to get educated in the way you think is best.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to be on your show. I'm honored, Gail. You're a very special lady, and keep doing wonderful things for women in business.
Thank you so much.